Alright guys, buckle up because this might be the most rage-filled review I've ever done. I saw the Predator released in 2018 in theaters, genuinely hyped. Up to this point, I had loved every Predator film. The original is a masterpiece.
Stick around.
Predator 2 is criminally underrated. And even Predators had some decent moments.
Come on. You are now, kill me!
Shane Black returning to write and direct sounded like a dream. I was expecting a thrilling, suspenseful, scary, and action-packed return to the jungle with one of the most iconic sci-fi monsters ever. What he got instead? Pure, unadulterated, cinematic disaster.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Here's a nice piece of
Let's start with the positives though, because I want to be fair, the concept has some real potential. An autistic kid accidentally activating Predator Tech could have been a fresh, intriguing angle for the franchise, and the opening scenes hint at a story that could explore that as well. Some of the visual effects are okay in small doses, like the initial Predator designs when they first appear. I'll give them that, but that's about the only real positive thing I can muster. Now onto the negatives. Whoa, that was really fast. Where this movie utterly collapses. Let's talk pacing first. This movie is a mess. Scenes jump around, entire plot points vanish without explanation, and what should be moments of tension are ruined by abrupt cuts or random comedic beats. There's literally a day mentioned in the dialogue, but in the actual cut, we never see it. It's the kind of editing mistake that makes you question if the editor even watched the whole movie before finalizing it. Scenes that should build tension are radically interrupted, and sub-action beats are so poorly cut you can't even tell what's happening. Then there's the story. All acts are off. The narrative makes no sense in several places. Subplots vanish, motivations are unclear, and there's no sense of stakes. The villain dies in a way that's so rushed and poorly edited, you might blank and miss it entirely. And this isn't just a biter oversight, it's a massive problem because the Predator is supposed to be terrifying and dominant. Yet this cut renders it almost laughable. The third act is just pure chaos, with a main character acting like a stand-in for Arnold Schwarzenegger and the original trying to heroically face the Predator in a way that completely falls flat. The movie strips away all the tension, replacing it with frustration and disbelief. The characters are absolutely unbearable. Every single person feels like a caricature, and the dialogue is some of the worst I've ever heard in a supposedly serious action horror film. The autistic kid is supposed to be a genius who accidentally triggers the Predator Tech, but instead is reduced to a punchline in scenes that try to be emotional. The soldiers, scientists, and side characters are so poorly written that you don't care about a single one of them. By the time the big action set pieces happen, I was emotionally checked out and didn't care if anyone lived or died. This is a disaster because the Predator franchise has always thrived on characters you can root for or at least be invested in. Not here. And let's talk comedy because oh my god, that comedy, I can't even. This movie is filled with yo mama jokes. Yo mama jokes.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Random attempts at quips during tense moments, and humor that lands nowhere. It's a prayer movie. Shane Black has always been funny in his writing, but this isn't that kind of humor that works here. Instead of tension or dread, you're treated to groan-inducing one-liners that kill whatever shred of immersion the movie might have had. The CGI is laughable. The Predators themselves, particularly the giant one in the finale, look like rejected video game models. They lack any of the physicality and weight of the original designs. The invisibility effect, which was iconic in the 1987 film, is clunky and overused here, and the final suit, this Iron Man Predator, is just... it's hilarious, it's absurd. There's no sense of danger or menace, just confusion. The tone is all over the place. At times it tries to be horror, but then it's comedy, then action, then superhero movie, then sci-fi adventure. None of it works together. You have no sense of what the film wants to be. The stakes never feel real, and every serious moment is undercut by a joke or a ridiculous plot twist. The ending is a catastrophe. You get the Iron Man style Predator suit, which makes absolutely no sense in this universe. so stupid that I laughed out loud, not in a good way, but in a what did I just statue way. The movie tries to have a climatic showdown, but because nothing has been set up properly, it lands with zero impact. There's no emotional weight, no suspense, no catharsis, it's just noise and confusion. I swear, everything about this film screams studio interference. You can feel that the original ideas were butchered. Scenes that might have been interesting were cut or replaced with cringe comedy. The actors are trying their best with nonsense material, but there's no saving this shipwreck. I'd love to see Shane Black's original cut, because the theatrical release is an unwatchable mess. It's not even bad in a so bad it's funny way. It's just bad in a how did this get made way. To sum it up, The Predator 2018 is easily one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Not just a bad Predator movie, a genuinely bad movie, period. The characters are awful, the story makes no sense, the pacing is a nightmare, the CGI is hilariously bad, the comedy is infuriating, and the tone is completely chaotic. Every single element that made the franchise great is thrown out the window. The only takeaway is disappointment, frustration, and rage. If you're wondering what grade it gets, forget F. Forget F-. This deserves its own category. The official grade is don't fucking bother. It's a cinematic travesty, a waste of time, and an insult to the legacy of the franchise. And yes, this is officially the most rage-filled review I've ever done. I've never been this mad about a movie. Next up in my prior review series, Prey. After covering Predator Ballads a couple days ago, which was an absolute it's time to look back at the film that really brought this franchise back to life. Prey was a huge story point for the series, and I'm so excited to dive into it next. This will be the last Wadi by Predator marathon, since I already reviewed Killer of Killers. Stay tuned, that review is coming very soon.